I think it would be kind of hard to be in compliance in the art meetings when they're from all over the state.
And we visited about that. Also, Ms. Mabry's going to be we've already put some things in place. We've assigned a diagnostician that is going to only serve those facilities. She will attend every single meeting. What's happened to us is sometimes the children that were arrested were released. We had a couple of them that were arrested and we requested full comprehensive, and then the judge declared them adults, and before we could do the evaluation, they were moved to Carrizales. So at that point, we just withdrew them. And we're reporting 100% of the students, even if they're there 24 hours. And that's what we're going to be working on to see, maybe we're reporting too many too fast. And so I wanted to work closer with TA on that.
It works out well too, as I was explaining to Ms. Cantu, by having a monitor, or whatever, however you want to say it, and she is a TEA representative, I mean extension of TEA. She has the authority. I always say as much as I do, granted I know where to go at TEA to get somebody to do something, but she has the right to call up and say, hey, we need something down here at San Benito. And I'm talking about Ms. Mabry. And so it gives you a little more leverage up at TEA to try to, we've talked about some things. She showed us some charts that she does and some monthly, handouts comes to my mind, but it's not a handout. It's a monthly report. Really very good. And those kind of things, I think will go a long way.
Mr. Rao, the original Angel G lawsuit, that
Yes,
was filed for a student in a nursing home, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
It was never intended for residential facilities?
Correct.
Like incarcerated facilities?
Yeah, but I have 15 or 16 of them out here across the state right now. I mean, that's the way it is. And they're, I'm not a special ed person. As I told her, I know enough to be dangerous. There's a good chance there may be another lawsuit coming out of this. It's just that kind of an ongoing thing.
On the parent participation, the concern was that parents from Laredo wouldn't attend. So what we've done is Mr. Limon and Ms. Sanchez worked with Tommy Ramirez. So he's now having the probation officers as part of their probation. The parents are being mandated when they're in court, they take them from court straight to the ARD meeting. So that's helped. We're at about 98% parent attendance now, where we couldn't get them there, but we still really don't have any jurisdiction, but they're now assisting us to get this in place. So they've worked very closely, and Mr. Ramirez has given us access to all 4 of his administrators. So he's the one sending out the probation officers to bring the parents in.
That's why I think that, on some of these compliances, they need to be a little more lax about them,
Yeah,
especially when, you're talking about special ed,
I understand.
I'm a retired state employee, and it's very hard to get the people here locally, much less people from Laredo or Corpus or Houston or Louisiana.
I understand. And I hear what you're saying. I mean, but I have to follow the federal law and the state law.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. They should maybe relook into that.
Yeah. Are there any other questions?
As far as like serving the children, do we have, because I know you mentioned something about not fully in compliance with the certified or qualified staff. Do we have someone who's, going back and forth, or someone situated there permanently?
What we did, there was originally in 2008, there were 22 areas of concern. Then when it was revisited, it was down to 12, and now there's 8. Highly qualified is one of them. And what we've done is made some changes. And what I've done now as a director is we, in our department, and aside from human resources, is we're pulling teacher certifications, we're checking highly qualified. I did meet with Region 1, and now I've been trained on how to, because I had never done it before, but those that are housed, that have the college hours, so we're really taking it to the next level. And anytime a new employee comes in, we're doing that. We've also reassigned some staff to come in and assist under special ed, because what was different in special ed, even though they're certified generic special ed from pre-K to 12, If the child is in a secondary, they have to meet the highly qualified like the gen ed does also. So now we have Mr. Limon, Ms. Sanchez has given us permission. We have 2 teachers that are also traveling, and we're paying their mileage to meet they meet our scan kids at PRC, because the courts sent us a letter, and I have a copy if you'd like to see it. They will not allow us to allow those kids to attend the high school. So we're having staff come in to work with them that are certified at the secondary level, as well as special ed. So there's been a lot of changes this year. I know that it's required a lot of staff, but we've worked it out through probably 8, 9, 10 changes throughout the year. And everyone right now, we're covered 100% in all areas. We're even offering the social skills. If a child were to come in, child with autism, with mental retardation, we have someone there that can now provide social skills and work with them even at that level. We also started a vocational program at Amador, so we made sure that we met the needs of the vocational. What we're doing is our staff at central office, they are going in, and we're even servicing JJP now. We're providing OT, PT, counseling, which is in addition to what they receive there, speech therapy for all of our kids. And we have all the logs for any child that comes in with a related service, we offer it. So we're not on all of those, and I was visiting with Ms. Mabry as well. We're in compliance on all of those, and we have all the documentation.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Hey,
Any more questions?
I appreciate y'all's time. We're not going to hang around and enjoy the rest of the meeting, but
And welcome, Ms. Mayberry.
Please
Welcome.
do, please do. Hang on.
We
Please
do have a
Have seat.
Whataburger here in San Benito, Ms. Mayberry, but there's other restaurants too.
I hear you. Thanks a lot, Mr. Limon.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Next item is disbursements, and we have disbursements by organization. That concludes the superintendent's report. Would answer any questions that any board members may have on any of those items.
Questions for Mr. Limon? All right, we'll move on to item number 7, school construction report. Mr. Ramon.
Good evening. At the new elementary, approximately 98% of the exterior block has been laid. Steel structures have been erected at the science lab and at the gym. Electrical, plumbing, and HVAC work is continuing. Roofing work is continuing. All roof materials have been delivered and they're at the site. Windows, exterior doors, work has begun. Approximately 60% of the project has been completed up to date. Frank Roberts and Landrum Elementary cafeteria renovations, the architects and engineers are working and getting everything ready this month so that we will go to the street next month, hoping to come before Building and Finance Committee and the board during the month of April. The high school roof project, they began on January the 24th. Because of the weather, they had not been able to do anything until Friday and this weekend and today. They've been working on that. They also started removing some of the roof from wing B and part of A as well. And so they're continuing to do some work there. Were there any questions?
I have a question. I've been getting some complaints that the work on the roof at the high school is interfering with some of the classes there. Particularly some of the students and some of the parents have called that when they're in the classroom, it smells real bad. The people up on the roof are making all kinds of noise. It's hard to conduct class. I mean, is there any way that this can be done some other time?
Because of the size of it, it's impossible to be done like in the summer.
Well, I mean, are there other alternatives? I mean, can we work at one wing at a time, and maybe when there's a floating room or an empty room, transfer that class to that other room, transfer the class to the library? I mean, let's put our minds to work here.
Ms. Weaver's here.
Ms. Weaver is already doing that, and also we have taken steps with the contractor to do some things that will correct the problem. But go ahead, Ms. Weaver.
It's not getting done because I'm getting complaints about that.
Well, teachers have been told that they can relocate to another classroom when that teacher of that particular classroom has a conference period. They can relocate to they are. I see them traveling. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
How do you expect our kids to be there in the classroom? Smell,
Yes, you're right. It is. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Some students, have had problems, some teachers, some are more tolerant. However, some of the teachers have taken the initiative to move their students to another area. Mr. Ramon and I met today, and Mr. Ramon has taken other measures, like to move the kiln to another area, and that's something that the construction company had not considered. Moving to another area where the wind will take the fumes away from the building and the AC. They were not using a deodorizer. So hopefully by tomorrow, it'll be a little bit less painful.
What disturbs me is that you know this project is coming. You know it's going to cost, but yet you're taking a reactive measure. You're reacting to the situation as opposed to planning ahead. If you knew that the classrooms or the roof were going to be worked on the wing, you should have said. I think we need to move these classes to another wing, or we have openings, or we have teacher conferences at this area, or we have space at the library, or set up portable classrooms in the gym. I don't know, I'm just coming up with ideas.
With all due respect, this is a, right.
You can't expect to learn.
Right. And with all due respect, this is the first experience, our first new roof. And yes, we were not aware of all the noise and the smell, but as it's happening, we're there to take care of them. I mean, we're right there to take care of them as they complain. I mean, it's a telephone call.
Our business is education.
Correct.
You should have been informed by the construction company and by our construction manager, whoever, that this situation was going to develop. So I hope that we take a more proactive measure and make sure that our students and our teachers are receiving proper accommodation.
Yeah. I answer all phone calls, and I have emailed them with the corrective measures. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I got a call on remodeling being done at a Landrum restroom, a boys' restroom. Is that correct?
At Landrum, that was a wing that was renovated sometimes back. I'm not aware of that. The only thing I'm aware is the wing that we renovated at Landrum.
That would be David Garcia, wouldn't it?
It would be David. It's being done.
I was made aware of a restroom at the pre-kinder wing, and all we're going to do is, it has